enjoy
You want to go
yourself.
to the club with me?
I can't. I got a job to do tomorrow. Got here kind of early.
Come on.
Boys got
We go out, we have
prostitutes
2 drinks.
out here.
2 drinks.
And, you know,
2 drinks, bruv. 2 drinks.
I'll think about it. I'll get back to you on that.
Ladies.
That hurt my hand.
You like ladies.
Of course.
You like.
I don't like paying for him. Like, you know, your boy out there, man. He's kind of has to.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Hello and welcome to this special episode of Field of Geeks. I'm Josh.
I'm Juan.
I'm Jonah.
And Austin.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Cousin Rico across the room, but go ahead.
Denzel Washington in the house.
We have the equalizer himself.
He's a big fan.
Oh.
Big fan. Big fan. Austin, it's great to meet you. Thank you, Juan, for introducing us, setting us up. You guys are buds, all three of you. Rico's producing off the camera here, so
He's actually on his phone. Got his reading glasses on.
Those pictures.
so yeah, this show is all about you. You're multi-talented and filmmaker to boot. So you got a new project coming out.
I do.
Sweet Killing Machines, and so yeah, we'll be talking about that, and then your journey, I guess, of how you came from Iowa native, right? To
Indeed.
Awesome, yeah, represent.
Born in the I-town.
Born and raised, yes,
It is?
yes.
I mean, West Coast got that.
Iowa.
Dot.
Was filmmaking always the destination?
No.
No.
No, it really wasn't. I mean, like, maybe, but I always pictured it on a bigger level,
Yeah.
I guess. And then, because, like, the things I was doing or that we were doing, like, we have been making music for
Since we were wee little
20
lads.
years.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Easily, if not longer.
you know,
Yeah.
But there's always, like, that aspiration of, like, God, this song would be dope for this kind of scene.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It would be cool for that. And so it's always this hope of music placement and stuff. And, like, we've had a few songs placed, but there's what do they say? Is there like 60,000 songs now that are
Like
daily
Oh yeah.
uploaded to Spotify?
Yeah, for sure.
So much music out there.
I know there's more competition, and
Yeah, it's like it's like a train wreck to sift through, right? And like,
right.
I think in every scenario of people who are doing stuff, they have friends.
Right.
And they have friends who make music, and they have... So it's kind of just became this thing where I was like, shit.
Right.
This is what I want to do. Why not just try to do it? And I've been like building the stash of equipment for 10 years.
Sure.
Learning
Yep.
and all that stuff. And finally just kind of did it, I guess.
Right.
And I acted out in LA, did a bunch of random shit, a bunch of background stuff, some commercials.
You worked with Rihanna.
Oh, she grabbed my dick.
Whatever. What? First off, I'm jealous. Second, is that true? No.
He did pick her up.
How was that experience?
He picked her up. I think he picked her up. You picked her up. I think you told me that.
I did.
I think he picked her up.
I
Wow.
was like, I was like this prison guard by her cage, and she like, was being all seductive and like.
Wow.
Was this a music video or just like a night out of town?
Yeah, it was for the.
It's for yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Disturbia.
Wow.
They made you pull your hair down, right?
Well, they asked me. They were like, "Can we cut your hair?" And I was like,
Because you had a big one.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I'm going to watch that video now.
Did we do our own version?
You made the cut, right? Or
I
Yep.
was in there a couple times.
Yeah.
A few seconds here and there.
Right. MTV giving you money for it and all that, and no.
I got paid.
Yeah. Nice.
Not enough to cut my hair, but it
Right. Was that a long shoot, that video, or?
was a day. Whatever,
Really?
like,
Oh, because all the music's already done. They just
yeah.
play it, and
Yeah, that's the easy part
Right.
for music videos.
Did you take anything from that experience, like just like watching the director, or
Yeah.
just how everything's made, the sauce?
I think the thing that I took from it was that a lot of times the director, I found directors don't either there's a disconnect between what directors want and what the people that they have hired to find those things. Like somewhere in there's a disconnect, because that was the moment where I realized, like, I've been hired several times now, and they hired me for a mohawk, right? Like at that point,
right?
And when I got there, they were like, "Oh, can we put your hair down, or can we?" And they did for that video. Can we cut your hair, or like whatever? And it was like, then why the fuck did you specifically hire me for a mohawk? This makes no sense. I don't know.
Typical Hollywood, right? I mean, was it in Hollywood? Oh yeah, you said L.A. or
pretty much Hollywood.
Was it outside of all that,
I don't
or
remember where it shot at exactly, but
Canada by chance? everything shoots in Canada.
I think you're safe with saying Los Angeles.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it was for sure there.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of that going on.
But it probably wasn't Hollywood most of the time.
So you definitely took in like what you liked and what you didn't like, and like at that time were you going towards that path?
Yeah, I was trying to actively. It's really expensive to try and break in.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like
right.
Every audition is like you spend your time doing it, and then you drive for an hour. All the gas money, and
I hear that all the time on podcasts. People live in that area. Like I couldn't imagine driving that much. It just like driving 20-30 minutes is a pain in my ass.
If we wanted to hang out, we got to plan 2 hours ahead of time.
Yeah,
that's insane.
So like if you say you want to hang out at 4,
no spur of the moment thing.
I gotta start prepping at 1:50 p.m. or something.
Right.
So we want to hang out at 4 p.m. I gotta start prepping at 1:50 p.m.
That's
insane. You start to learn the times, right? Like
you know the piece.
You can probably after 8:30 till 11. It's really good, and then let's see.
You got like 11. Yeah, you got like 11:30 to like
a little worse,
3
up till about 2, and then it's like
2, 3, and then you got all the way up to like 7:40.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, it's like,
and then it depends on where you are. If like you're heading downtown, it could still be packed.
God,
if you're going to certain parts,
or if there's a game.
All 3 of us have lived in LA at the same time.
Have you guys been to New York to experience the difference there?
Like 6-7 times. We never lived there.
Oh, that's true.
We never lived there.
We've had some experiences
with law enforcement.
That's a spinoff
I'll let him
episode
tell
coming
that story.
up.
I won't. Yes, we've hung out in NYC a few times.
Yes,
it's it's an interesting place.
Yeah,
personally, no offense to New York, but I don't know. I like the beach and warm weather. If I'm gonna go to a big city, at least I need.
I'm the opposite. I'm actually New York.
Yeah,
New York.
I love that place. Yeah.
Why the hoagies?
I like
the pizza.
I like the direct
pizza. I like the pizza.
I like the directness of the people there. I like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I like.
Yeah, it's a little. It's less fake.
And we come from like the hip hop era. And like that, like old school hip hop, and just being the like guy with the backpack, riding the L, riding the subway and stuff. Like I, if you guys ever seen the movie Kids, that was the world I wanted to live at.
You wanted to live in that world.
Yeah, well, I'm not telling.
My parents were they worked for a video distributor growing up, so just clear that up. So like a lot of the stuff around here I've accumulated from like them getting like promotional material and all that stuff. Growing up, they'd get movie shirts and they'd be like, hey, here's a shirt. Kids was one of them. But I didn't find out till maybe 10, 15 years later that was not a kids movie. And I never wore this shirt because I'm like, why am I going to wear a shirt called Kids? I do know Rosario Dawson's in it.
Rosario,
she's very young, right? Yeah.
The dude that played Casper was awesome the entire movie to the last freaking 5 minutes. Remember Casper?
Yeah, but I can't remember
Casper the Ghost?
The last 5 minutes were
Friendly Ghost. Yes,
she was knocked out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I gotta see this movie.
I didn't remember where that was in the movie, so
It was the last.
Yeah, that was not
Because he was awesome the entire movie. I'm like, oh, come on, Casper, man.
You're your hero.
I was like,
He became a mattress.
oh.
Yeah.
Have you guys never seen Kids? It's a fun watch, in my opinion.
You'll only watch it once.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it twice, but
Yeah.
I think I owned it at one time.
Director's cut. So, like, music brought you into filmmaking in a way. Was it like maybe? Well, I guess first off, is that true? Did music kind of get you? Like, was it like? Was there steps to
directing music videos? Right, like
Yeah.
I suppose that's the fairly stereotypical.
Well, it's because you, as a band, right? You're creative. You get more creative, don't you? As you go along, like how you're perceived with film and all that, like how you want to look, and the more control you have over that, right? It's probably is it kind of like maybe it's what brought you into it, just to have the control factor, or you just had to do it.
I think it's fun to like being able to have that creative, like, I mean, him and I have always had a blast, like coming up with crazy ideas.
For music videos are fun.
Yeah, they're fun. Like you can do anything you get.
Movies,
they're mini
wanna
movies.
Mess up someone's
some
film.
are, right? Some are
you
better
don't
than
mess up
actual
someone's
films.
movie when you're doing movies.
Yeah.
With music videos, like when we did the I'm Sick video.
Yeah.
At the old, we had had access to an old abandoned
in
hospital in LA, in downtown.
They shot a so here's how it happened.
Yeah, go ahead.
They were shooting a God damn it, I can't remember any black people's names today.
Denzel Washington,
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
They were shooting like a
Lethal Weapon
B-movie, Danny Glover movie in there, and one of my friends was one of them or two. One or two of my friends were on the crew.
What up, Zach?
We were shooting it, and she was telling me about it. And she was like, "Well, we could use the hospital if you guys can like do it." It was like I had like 5 days notice or something. Like, if you could do that, and I was like, done. So I made the song in like 4 days, and then we shot it.
Wow!
You know, like I came up with the idea, and I made the idea for the song around the hospital, and it was
might as well advertise. The song's called "I'm Sick."
Yeah.
It's me and this guy featuring actually the third verse is the second verse is my younger brother.
Yeah.
BJ. So yeah, it was fun. It was awesome. Like it looked like something straight out of a horror movie.
Nice. I have to check
it was
that
cool
out.
to have like like huge
full
set.
access.
Yeah.
Like, we just had the whole hospital just running around in there, like all the rooms, and
wow.
We had people in there like doing up the walls, set design.
Yeah, sure.
Putting stuff up and like smearing blood around, and like we could do anything we wanted in there.
Yeah.
Well, how was that collaborative
It was like almost
process?
they gave up. It's almost like they gave up on that hospital. It's like there's stuff from like 19.
Too many people died. They're like, we gotta shut down.
just-
We suck.
I'm pretty sure it was done. It was like they were just whoever owned it was just renting it out.
We don't care. Like there's like old like syringes.
We had stacked up papers on a table. That were,
OSHA would be pissed.
Like this across this desk.
Oh my gosh!
DJs in there rapping, just throwing.
Yeah, we were just having a ball.
Oh god!
And kudos to you and BJ for getting on that floor. I would have never gotten on that floor.
That was BJ. I bought him a Tonka truck,
and he's
so
like rolling
on the floor, like in a gown, just like I think blood dripping out. He's just drooling and like pushing his Tonka truck around on a hospital floor.
We're supposed to be like crazy, like almost like guys who should be in straitjackets.
Right, sure.
Type of
like you're running the asylum, pretty much.
No, you weren't. Ever.
No, I wasn't. I had syringes I had the afro and I had the syringes in my head.
Well, what was that collaborative process like? Like you said, you had like set designs. Like I know that's usually what you have different departments when you make a film. But like, given that you guys were probably maybe didn't, it was kind of more like we're all just going to get together and kind of put our say in something. Like how did that flow? And was there issues making that flow? Like was there just certain ideas you did not like and you're just like
no, not really. So there were different people. There was trying to remember. There were a couple people that did set design, and it was the person who was like, "Yeah, you guys could do this," you know, whatever.
Right.
I did not direct the film.
Right.
I had some I had a lot of ideas. But
Sure.
then, like once you got in there,
Yeah.
they were also like,
Right.
this person was like, "Yeah, do this, or let's put these here." There were definitely 2 set designers that were dressing up some areas for it, and we were just kind of like getting dressed up and performing for that one. So.
Right.
But a lot of the other stuff I've done has been like a lot of it has been me dressing up stuff.
Right.
I mean, there's been a number of other videos like the swamp and stuff where they like went all out and like turned a room into whatever.
Wow.
And had like crocodile. I think it was a paper mache head that she was wearing, like this little girl, and
I wasn't there. So like, remember we did, me, Maya, and Ryan, and you did a different day,
Yeah.
and you had to go back for Kyle, and it was just you and Kyle,
oh, that's right.
and then the Gator and the Gentleman, I
Yeah.
wasn't there for that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean
just once ago.
him and a few other guys,
Yeah.
him and another guy, a few other guys, they built an entire wall for the,
Oh yeah.
for the music video, like so.
Yeah, in my apartment. That was for the I'm sick. We took we just built a wall. Like basically it was just like a facade
Extended outside.
Yeah.
in front of this wall and just did the whole wall and put wallpaper on it, and then we like cut holes in it and put that like latex stuff that stretches where you can like
So you can put
Oh yeah.
movie shit. So,
Yeah.
like,
Oh wow. Yeah.
yeah, that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, we had a lot of
kinda
fun
set
with
up
stuff like
a
that.
scene for that. And,
All I would say about film or movies compared to video is music videos, you can follow along with the words. It's simple. You know, you're hearing your words back.
Yeah.
But with like movies, you have to you got to know your lines. You got to know your know your stuff, and then you got to put your personality into it. So to me, they're slightly different. They're not the same in that regard when it comes to performance.
Right.
Yeah.
music videos are just fun images mostly. Like sometimes you can make a story, right? Like
Right.
the last one that we did was the Yuck Mouth video, Roll the L, and there was like
Oh yeah.
a whole story line that goes along with it. But a lot of times it's just like
It's like silent acting, like some chat,
funny
Yeah.
images.
Yeah.
chat
So
type stuff.
you've written your own music, and then you've written this recent movie.
Yeah.
Is there a difference from a creative standpoint in writing a song versus writing a script, or to you is it the same? What is that like for you?
I've written 3 books
Okay.
and probably over 100 songs and
Easily.
a couple scripts. The scripts are pretty fun. Books are interesting. It's still kind of fun. I think this. So songs to me are a little. I want to say a little more difficult because it's harder. Generally, you have to rhyme, right? And like there's syntax, and you have to sort of follow certain rules. Like you can just talk.
Yeah.
Some people do, right? Like, but I really like following all the. I don't know. It's like a puzzle, putting things together, and because we rap, right? Like there's.
I think rap's the hardest.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's the hard for writing.
Yeah.
Compared to like if you have an amazing voice, some people could just sing "I Love Cake."
Yeah.
And
That's
their
one of my
voice is
favorites.
amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a classic.
You know what I'm saying? But
Cake
rap
by the ocean.
and depending on what level of rap you want to be, like we come from the era where it was more lyricism. We had to be lyrical.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you could just, hey,
Yeah.
Oh,
and I
no.
mean, even in new rap, I mean, I'm going to talk shit right now. Y'all motherfuckers don't have shit for syntax.
Yes.
Fuck you guys. There's like 10 rappers now that can rap worth a fuck.
he just playing. No,
And what are their names? The ones that can't?
No.
Man.
When it comes to like script writing or even writing books, for you, what's the most challenging? Is it the dialogue? Is it the action? Is it the...
Sorry, I didn't really answer that question.
Sorry.
I think script writing is easier. I don't know, it's fun. It's like writing a movie in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're like having a video going. You're like watching these people do this thing, and like, there's challenges, right? Like, especially when you have a low budget and you have to figure out how to like get that actor or that actor who may be 2,000 miles away. Like, how am I going to bring these people together, and what's like the most cost-effective way to do it? Like, there's a lot more to, unless you just write a story. Like, if you just go like, I'm going to write a script and I'm going to write whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
You could do that, but it may end up being not feasible to film for a certain amount of money, right?
Yeah. Right.
And whatever your amount of money is.
Yeah.
Or you may sit on that script. I've got friends who've sat on the script their entire lives and may never get them made.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So my thought is I'm going, and in fact, the next one, and the first one, were written for people that I know. So everybody that's in the movie, I wrote it with their, like,
Yeah.
you know, and then locations that I had available and so forth
Sure.
to make it possible on a budget, because there's so many things.
Right on.
I don't know. Do you film stuff?
Not regularly, like inconsistently.
But you put together a couple comic books.
Yeah, I mean, I've written scripts
Yeah.
and
Yep.
a couple of books that will probably never see the light of day.
Yeah.
I did a
Not yet.
TV treatment for a comic book that was my brief foray into anything Hollywood related, and don't want anything to do with it probably ever again, because it was just a waste of time.
Inhumans, right?
What's that?
Inhumans.
Inhumans? Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no.
Kidding. I'm kidding. He's more talented than I am.
And so, no, a little bit. And I know kind of what my own struggles are when it comes to, the different creative processes. And there's a huge difference, in my opinion, between a script and like a prose format type story. And I think one is way more challenging to me anyway.
Which one?
Than the other. The novel format, I think, is way more challenging.
Yeah, there's a lot more words that go to it.
Yeah, and I think one of my problems, and I'd love your opinion on this too, is I'm like my own biggest critic, where I could write something and I don't think I could like read it back. It would sound so shitty to me. So I don't like to read my own things.
Yeah, like if you don't practice reading it,
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds shitty.
Yeah.
If you like spend time with it and then like, because it's like acting, right? Like you have to almost, generally memorize it. So that you can say it in a way that sounds natural. But when you just read it back, it's like, oh, this sounds fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the dialogue, I think, is relatively easy for me anyway, but it's the descriptions and the scene setting.
I get
that's
where
where I'm like, oh, this sounds like fucking garbage.
I would say this. I think that like coming from like just doing music, especially like music like rap, I think it's a harder terrain ish. Like it's more of a challenge to follow the beat and keep the subject matter and keep all that together. So when you come from that and then you go into like, okay, script writing and novels and whatnot, I won't say it's easy, but to me it's simpler. It's more simple by comparison, because I don't have to follow this cadence.
Yeah, but there's a different pacing though that you do have to.
I know what you mean. Like there's a rhythm of the storyline.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm saying, like, we know for a fact there's a flow that you need to follow. There's things like that. To me, it just seems like I can just.
Yeah, I do think it is harder to like say like an idea that you really want to convey, but then also like have it bounce to the beat and rhyme, right? Like you can convey some different ideas in script writing than you can trying to make a rap song.
I just think it's like when you're used to doing that, and then you go into that. It's just like, oh, you don't require this, or this.
Yeah.
All I have to do is just say what is on my mind and make it flow. I already understand the concept of keeping a flow of the storyline or whatever, and I don't have to follow, because we know like a guy could have, I could have two different producers, and this beat is going to make me go this direction, and this beat's going to make me go that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yet the subject matter could be the same.
Right.
Like I could say, and so whereas with, I think you could go free form when you just say, okay, I'm just writing. I'm just writing, and understanding the concept of flow and keeping people engaged. It's a different thing.
Right. Well, like when you're kind of, having what do you call it? Writer's block, right? Writer's block. When you have that experience, like, do you ever have that? And if you do, what gets you out of it?
I think we grew out of it.
Yes. I don't think I've ever had it.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky, yeah.
Either that or I just like make some bullshit up and throw it in there. I don't tend to just fully sit and like just write. Like I'm just I'm gonna sit down and make this all up right now.
Right.
Like, I think that's a terrible.
You don't make it a big thing. It's just like kind of more natural, sort of. Or I mean, if you have a deadline, you have a deadline,
like
right?
It goes through life, and I go like, that's fucking funny. I'm gonna write it down.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right.
I know him very well in the sense of he's always been good at taking notes. Like.
Cool.
Yeah,
like
you have to.
He has an idea, he'll write it down. He keeps a little book on him.
I wake up at 3 a.m. and like that.
He'll write it down. So he's probably got so much on
and
tap.
it sucks because I got to roll over and fucking type into my phone. And I'm like, all right. But, then I have it because there's been so many times where I wake up and I'm like, oh, fuck, I know I had a good idea.
Yeah. I've done that. Like, I've always wanted to do more creative, like, when I was in high school, I wanted to do drama and all that stuff, but chickened out, just was,
Do that shit, Josh.
I was pussy. But, I still have that.
Sitting across from you.
Yeah, hook me up.
You do that.
Have one of the Oscars, please. But no, like,
Ouch, that's the only one.
I love the writing process, and I've kind of forgotten. I'm kind of teaching myself like how to write some stories, but it's just like the motivation comes and goes. But sometimes I'll like be acting it out, but I won't be anywhere near paper or computer, and I'm like, well, I might even have my phone. I'm like, God dang it, this is so good. I'm gonna forget it.
Just write it down.
Yeah.
Trust me. Just write it down.
My uncle had like a recorder he would carry with him.
Even if
I'll record it sometimes,
say,
especially if it's like if I'm like hashing out a conversation between characters. I'll just record it in my phone and then I can go back and listen to it again.
So many fucking things recorded. I can probably be 60 and never have another original idea.
And how do you label them? So you have to search, right?
You can listen to it. You can read it.
It's gonna trigger one of those.
Right.
Once in a while, you have to sit down and be like,
what is this about?
I'm gonna sort through this shit, and I'm gonna okay, that goes there, and that goes there.
Yeah.
I do it once in a while.
Yeah, sure.
Year or so, I'll go through all these bullshit things and be like, okay, that's a good idea. Oh, that was fucking trash. All right. But I do that too. Like, sometimes I'll sit down and drink or do whatever,
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, I'm just gonna hang out and think.
Right.
Like that's to me, that's some of the best time. It's just like sitting by myself and just thinking.
Right. But have you ever had a pressure of a deadline and like any hangups to get it done? Because there's not so much like free form with it, right? It's like I gotta work, I gotta go right now and get this done. Like
so the last movie that I did, and it was an accident. It was a fucking stupid idea, but I still did it. It was supposed to be a short, and it was just kind of like my friend wanted to do a thing, and I was like, "Oh, hey, let's write something. We'll go do this, right, or whatever." And started much smaller, and so from the time I started, it was like the end of November to the time we filmed the movie was February 4th. So I had that much time to write a movie's worth of script, I did all the costume, wardrobe, all the props and location and everything. Like, I had to acquire some new equipment and things like that to make it happen. And so I did all that in like 2 months' time, basically. And it was way too short of an amount of time, but I didn't really know that I was going to make a movie.
So you didn't really know what you're signed on for until you were in it, right? You're in the shit, and you're like, oh, okay, let's just see this through.
Yeah, so like I've had the experience with making music videos where there's a cost involved.
Yes.
And that cost doesn't really change that much. I mean, it can change a lot depending on what you're doing. But like, you're going to do this idea or concept. You've got this set and these characters need to wear something and they need to hit each other with a billy club. And like those things are all still going to cost money. Yeah. Regardless if that scene is 3 minutes long or if it's 10 minutes long, right? Like, so
sure.
There was a cost involved, and at some point I was like, I'm already going to spend this money on these costumes and clothes and the hotel room, and granted I had to end up spending more because we needed it for a few more nights and stuff like that, but in the grand scheme of things, like a little bit more money, not right. I'm a movie, right? Instead of a short.
Yes. Well, and of course it's Sweet Killing Machines, and can you tell us what it's all about?
Yeah, it's about two hitmen. Wait, what's it about? Fuck.
Denzel Washington in it.
Denzel Washington is in this movie. It's about two hitmen, and they're hired to do a job by a company, and they've never met before. They are put in the same room for the job the night before the job, and so it's mostly them just like meeting and then going to the room and like it's just two like kind of regular ass dudes fucking hanging out, and I mean they're hitmen but they're also just like chatting about bullshit and like some other shit transpire. They have their own personalities. Right. Some people like prostitutes, some people like drugs, whatever. Like, so things happen in there, and then they
it's our humor.
Yes,
that's what I'll say. And we all, us three, we've known each other since we were kids. So we have a very dark humor, and he really displayed that in the movie. And
but it's rated G, so how'd that work?
It's definitely a kid's movie.
We know people who know people who know people.
Question is, could it be a kid's movie for TV edit? Would that work?
100%.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, gotcha. It'd be like 5 minutes long.
You mean like the T-shirt that we were talking about? Talking about the movie kids.
No, not the movie kids.
Oh, like the movie kids.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Of course.
Honestly, if you edited out
just credits, like that's it.
Is it okay?
Dialogue.
So here's what fucks me up is that like pretty much no one bats an eye at like superhero movies. Like you can take your kid to Batman and he like just fucking blew dude's arm off.
Yeah.
Stabbed him in the chest and like stuffed a grenade in his mouth, like
what Batman?
Batman Returns. He literally, he didn't do it in the mouth, but he scrapped at that fat guy and he smiled about it.
Oh yeah.
But Affleck killed people, so we're upset about that.
I saw Ant-Man with my kids and like a couple other ones. Oh, what was the Teenage Mutant? Well, they were like, rob that fool.
Well, you could do it as long as
kidnap that fool.
I think lasers just changed things.
Yeah,
I think lasers changed things.
So that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes,
by the way. But
the new one, right?
Annie Up, right?
I like that one.
They're shoplifting and playing Annie Up. Like,
yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is funny the dynamics, how certain things are okay and others aren't. Like the MPAA, I think they had a documentary and they're like, nobody knows who these people are. They go into this lot and you don't know who works for them basically, and so the rules always change. And to get back to like your film or any film or project you work on, when there is like some kind of maybe restriction, or is there one, like when you set out to make a project, are you just like, I'm gonna just go all the way out, like I don't care about ratings or whatever, because that's the beauty of indie, right? You can do a lot.
That's
right?
always kind of been like I don't have anybody saying you can't.
Right.
Which might be a bad thing.
What's the hardest?
You know what?
Yeah.
There's so many people I think out there that are like so, with this like really sterile view of the world.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
super safe, and like there's no back and forth between ideas or like your view and your view, right? Like it does.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, it does happen, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're right.
It's fun to just.
Do you ever get challenged?
What I think
by actors or whoever else is with you or on creating a project, making a film? Anyone ever say, "Are we going too far?" Like, you ever get any of that?
Yeah, maybe sometimes before it gets to the.
It wasn't one of us.
I mean, my wife mostly.
What are you doing?
Good job. Take that out. Well, that leads me to my question.
She's like one of my best sounding boards, you know?
Yeah, mine
I'll
too.
Sit down
Yep.
with her and be like,
Yep.
Hey, yo, check this out.
I'm so proud of
Be
it.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
You're gonna say that to people?
I'll be like, yeah. She'll be like, you do you.
Good job.
I won't be at the red carpet premiere with you. Yeah, well, that leads me to my question. Like, what's the hardest artistic choice you've had to make in making this film?
That's a big question. You can't just ask somebody on the spot.
I Oprah'd the shit.
That's a good question.
I know,
It is a
right?
good question.
It wasn't mine. I looked it up.
Oh.
I literally typed, "What do you ask filmmakers?" Because I was just kind of like having a block. I'm like, "Oh, that's a good one." Yes.
I'm not sure that I know right offhand.
Yeah, nothing comes to mind.
I know that because I edited the movie, there were definitely I remember there were definitely some points in there where I was like, should I leave that in there? You know, like
yeah.
I think it's funny, but
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember what they were though. Like,
Gotcha,
off the top
yeah.
of my head.
Because you feel like you could lose the audience, like their attention, or are you worried about runtime? You know?
Well, no, because I mean, this was shot on an extremely low budget.
Sure.
And we had way less footage than I wish we had.
Really?
But it was shot in 3 days.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was like pretty much 3 16-hour days.
Yeah.
Just like go. Because it was mostly it was either in one location or within walking distance.
Sure. Yep.
For most of it. There was some driving, but most of it.
Yeah.
And so like that allowed us to get a lot more, but yeah, what was the question again?
Well, that was part of it. The runtime and stuff. But like, yeah, like you're saying, like, should I leave this in? Is it because you're afraid you're going to lose the audience? Like, it might be something you just get, or
yeah,
or you're like, I'll have a director's cut. We can do that, right?
There was like with this movie, like there was stuff at the beginning of the movie I really wished that I could have cut, and I tried to find a way,
right?
But I didn't feel like it would make sense because there was like the dialogue, the way it flowed, and like just sort of little jokes that like at the end of the movie,
right?
And like, does it really matter? Was it that big of a joke? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
To me, it just felt like shit, I can't cut this.
Yep.
But there were little things where it was like, should I leave this in? I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, right.
And it was like, maybe it's too much.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not going to be good.
Sure.
So,
sure.
I did make some of those calls.
Do you kind of time yourself too? Like, if I'm spending too much time on this, I need to move on, or you're like, table it, I'll move on to another part of the film.
I never went like I'm spending too much time.
Right.
Because I spent way too much time. I definitely did think to myself, fuck, am I just wasting a bunch of time on some garbage?
Right.
There were a few times, like after like 6 months, where I'm like, did I just fucking totally waste 6 months of my life.
Right.
It's like, all right, whatever.
That's probably the hardest part, editing, right? Would you say, to making a film, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
Yeah.
I edited it and did the music and did the coloring and all of that. So it was
Sure.
like sort of a flowing process, and it was
Wow, that's
7 or 8
crazy.
months.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
And it was like, you know, getting this part done and sort of coloring it as I go and grading it as I go, and then like, all right, I'm gonna do sound or
Yeah.
create songs kind of as like, oh, this would be a cool idea for this, right?
Sure,
So it's
yep.
just like this ebbing and flowing process the whole way.
Right.
Well,
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, a lot goes into it, that's for sure. How do you keep as you're filming, like, you got to keep your energy up, like, I'm thinking lots of energy drinks, power naps. What'd you say?
You said Frito-Lays.
Chili cheese. Chili cheese free.
There's a lot of bathroom trips, isn't it? A lot of Pepto. Pepto energy drink. There you go. Making something happen.
yeah, I don't know. Just, I mean, we didn't really have crafty or anything. This wasn't like a
Right.
union movie.
Right.
I bought a couple coolers full of shit and like bags full of
Yeah.
chips, and I would get them.
Sure.
I mean, it wasn't very many actors, right? It was like 5
Right.
actors or 6
Right.
actors in the whole movie. So, get them sandwiches and
To boost the morale, keep it going.
And
I mean, was there ever?
was-
Yeah.
Doug pretty much just sat in the other room and just fucking ate chips the whole time. The rest of us were working. Fuck you, Doug.
You're on the floor, the editing floor. Have you ever worked with film, by the way, or just digital?
Just photography film.
Okay.
Yeah, but no.
We live in great
I
times.
did when I was not film like that,
Yeah.
but when I was in high school, we would edit on those VHS where you
Yep.
stuck the 2 tapes in and you could edit back and forth on those
Nice.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That shit was garbage.
I remember copying tapes with 2 VCRs. I think actually Delirious or Raw was one of them I copied.
Yeah, I think my first music video. Shout out to Logan Vanderlyn.
What up, Vandalin? What up,
We're
Lola?
like with a couple stupid kids, and we covered. I said a hip hop, the hippie to the hip hop.
Y'all did a music video for
Oh, Denzel Washington's band.
See, now you gotta find the video.
right?
I gotta see the video.
It's probably
Sugar Hill
somewhere, but-
Gang.
See where we go?
Yeah, Sugar Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Mr. Washington, have you seen it?
We cut those 2 tapes.
You just can't upload it to YouTube. That'll go down right away.
Yeah, I would never upload that to YouTube.
Well, one of the questions, and we talked about a little bit, where kind of what helps you bring life into some of the characters you're creating, but you said a lot of it you kind of base on, people or actors you want to work with, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of have somewhat of a personality, I think, maybe based on what you think Mr. Washington is capable of bringing to the screen,
The next
right?
movie will be his first time acting.
I'm so
Equalizer
excited.
He did some
4.
music videos. He did some music videos.
That's fair.
that's right.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, I know we talked a little bit about
dopamine dump truck. Go check it out.
we talked a little bit about that. One of the questions that I had is what advice would you give for all of the children watching this that are aspiring creators, whether musically,
Do lots of drugs.
musically,
rock star.
or wanting to get into movies, writing, etc.?
Prescription. It's okay then.
Powder your nose.
Nobody likes Love Actually? Come on, that was fucking funny.
That's a great movie.
I like, yeah.
Become a rock star. They'll give them to you for free. What am I supposed to tell them?
Anything that you want.
What would be my advice to children?
Well, any
Don't
young
do art. It's a fucking terrible.
say anyone who wants to
gonna
anyone
be
who wants to
poor
do
forever.
what you do. Anyone who wants, whether it's a child or a 50-year-old man, if someone's out there that says, "Hey, I got an idea," what's your advice to them?
Keep on believing. Ooh.
I would say just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta
Just do it.
whatever.
Mortgage the
If you wanna
house.
do something. If you like doing it,
Yeah.
do it. I mean, we live in a world of YouTube videos and
Well, it's great times, right? For anybody to create stuff. I mean,
like-
you got digital technology. You don't have
you
to
got
buy a
so
bunch of
much
film
stuff now.
or.
everybody's trying to sell you something. You can download. Well, I'm forgetting the name of that one, Lydia's or whatever. Like you can learn anything. Like you don't have to wait. There's channels on. I can't think of the name, but the ones where you can go like watch college courses and
Yeah.
sit there.
Oh,
and,
like
I know what you're talking
master
about.
class.
yeah, master class.
Yeah.
I think that one costs money, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But there's some free ones like big time, and you know you can
Pretty
sit-
much get just about
you know,
anything.
watch
done for
them and learn. You can. I'd say the biggest thing to do is learn as much as you can about as many things as you can, because the more things you're good at, the easier time you're going to have doing the one thing. Like so, it takes so much knowledge to do so many. Bring it all together and make one thing happen, because you're not going to be good. Whatever you create is not going to be good if you just know how to do one thing. Unless you were like Taylor Swift and your dad bought $300,000 worth of stocks in a record label so that they would take her on, and then she's got a tour bus and coaches and everybody. Like when you've got a team around you, you can do whatever. You don't. Probably. So
Another-
Kansas City
you're gonna
Chiefs.
sit in
The
the
rest,
fucking
98% of us
You're gonna
don't
sit in
have.
the tour van with 6 stinky dudes and ride around the country, and it's gonna fucking suck.
Preach, bro. Preach that.
Like if you want to
Preach that.
you either got to have lots of money or strategically just save up your money. Maybe you can save up $100,000.
Yeah.
And really, you know, focus that at one thing that is approach. You right? Like
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for the most part, most people can't just like set aside that kind of money. You're trickling money in, right? Like I can buy this light, or I can buy this recording studio piece
Yeah.
of equipment.
We don't have to
And
eat.
and it's
Yeah.
slow, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a slow process. You know,
Yes.
nobody's gonna be like, hey, let me start your career with $500,000. you know,
Right.
like-
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a grueling process if you're not rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't let it deter you. Just you got YouTube and you got all these
Yeah.
things. Learn, and then
Yeah.
keep trying.
Right.
You're gonna fuck up a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, when we
They
were
should
younger,
expect you, right? It's not perfect. Yeah.
When we were younger, we broke our necks to try to get music equipment. Now everything's available to you.
Yeah.
So if you really want to, I'm coming from an artist standpoint, if you really want to create whatever you consider to be the art you're interested in, nothing's stopping you.
Yeah, now it's
You get
like
a laptop and a microphone.
yeah, now
software.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's free software. You can. It might not sound the best, but like you can.
Audacity.
There's some stuff that you could. There's
Sponsor
there's
of
a lot
today's program.
Yes.
There's a lot of free software out there that if you learn how to use it, you could make
It's
a
just so much stuff and
pro
access.
sounding song.
We have so much access to stuff.
YouTube
nowadays.
the videos to teach you too. That's what I did when I started.
Yeah.
You can learn just about anything, man. If you really want to make art. Now, being famous, that's another vehicle, and there's
That's
Yeah,
channels.
tell me about
That's
it.
channels.
Jeez.
But if you just want to make art, whatever you consider your art to be,
That's promotion, like mostly. That
Yeah.
and usually
Yeah.
it's a lot of money. Like most of the people that you see that are, you know,
Right.
viral or whatever, like
Yeah.
they've got a rich dad and they
Yeah.
somewhere in there was
Right.
money exchange. Someone
Yeah.
paid somebody to do this, and like it's usually not just once in a while you get that random old redneck with the fucking red beard, or
making
once in a while.
making hip
Yeah.
hop songs
Right. Right.
with Denzel.
That's right.
Well, what has inspired you to do what you do? Like directors, films, TV programs growing up? Music, I guess, would be one too, right? Bands
Like
that have inspired you to do what you do, like
bands
with
that inspired
filmmaking.
me.
Yeah, or filmmakers.
2000's new flute album.
Yes.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Wait, does he have a new flute? Is it like a
He
jazz
does,
flute?
and it's like getting rave reviews. I tried to listen to it the other night and I was like, oh hell no.
Oh no!
But I know it's good. It's good. I just I wasn't quite in the mood.
They
Everybody wants
peaked.
to hear
They
rap.
peaked, right? With that, what was that one album that everyone had?
Oh man, I
Love
used to
Below,
love Outkast.
Sweet
Yeah.
Box.
They were
Oh,
the
I do
shit,
too.
man.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Big Boy. And,
I love a good jazz flute, so I'll check this out.
yeah, no, I'm sure it's dope, and it like kind of was, but I was in my own.
He's matured,
zone.
right?
I
As
was
an
in
artist, that's
Well, he's-
what it is. Yeah.
And he's got some
a lounge.
anxiety issues.
Oh,
and,
sure.
and stuff, and he doesn't feel like he can rap anymore because he doesn't think he has anything to
Didn't
say.
talk about,
Yeah.
Which, whatever. That's
Yeah,
his deal.
it's like Eddie Murphy with stand up. I don't think that he's gone back because of that, or I don't know.
He said no. He said he would come back. It's just his brother inspired him to. But
Yeah.
he said he would have to take an entire year
Yeah,
on the circuit.
there's so much
Yeah.
hype on it,
Yeah,
It's
he
the
was-
thing.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like being a battle
Especially when
rapper.
that big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of pressure there. Like they
Yeah.
were diamond.
As hard
How
as
many
the pressure
times?
should be.
yeah.
Right.
I'm doing this art because I like this art, and I'm
Right.
do.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what he.
Then
That's why he
how
stepped
started
aside.
out, and then you get to that level, and then
Yeah.
all of this comes.
Corporate,
Like,
and then if you're like Johnny Depp or
He's obviously
yeah.
self-aware enough to know that he can't like rap about street life anymore. Like he
Right,
kind of
right.
can, but he also doesn't want to. Like
Right.
he's a smart dude. He doesn't want his kid thinking like that's cool, right? Like he
Right,
doesn't,
exactly.
right? So
Right.
he's like, how do I still create and like be true to myself or honor
Right.
myself and
Right.
so like I'm sure it's cool and like I listened to it. I listened to a couple songs for about 30 seconds and I was like, oh, this is not the moment.
That's your review.
I'm gonna have
Not
to
the
do this
moment.
later.
You might be enhanced
I'm gonna
for
have to
something
do
like
this
that.
a little later.
Yeah.
Well, like
Yeah.
with filmmakers, for instance, did you have indie heroes or mainstream heroes growing up, and that
Oh, yeah.
could inspire you now? Like,
both, I'm sure.
Like musicians.
what came
directors.
first? Yeah, what was it? Mainstream that came first to you, or
Authors.
just the underdog sort of indie, whatever?
Like if we're talking about music, I
Yeah.
grew up on Wu-Tang and
Yeah,
They ain't nothing to fuck with.
Gangstar and what?
were you a Tarantino fan, or
I like Tarantino.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a brilliant writer. Seth Rogen obviously is funny.
Yeah.
I like shit. Now you're gonna make me think of people saying
This movie.
we already had this fucking problem earlier.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Denzel Washington for sure, right? As an actor, right? Yeah.
What are
Mike
they-
Lee is the black one. All right.
I do like a couple of his movies.
What is he?
Yeah, I'm bad with names.
Stumped you.
I'm
Stumped
just
you.
bad with names. 'Cause
I
never-
gotcha.
never
Make 'em up.
remember 'em. Like the Coen Brothers, they're dope. Like David
Yeah.
Lynch is dope.
Like color grading. Are they
They
color
feel like
grading
Guy Ritchie.
heroes too for
Guy
how their
Ritchie's-
Guy
movies
Ritchie's
look?
amazing.
Oh, I love Guy
who did-
Ritchie.
who
Yeah.
did Paul. I'm just blanking on
That's
his
Seth
name.
Rogen.
No, he was in it.
Oh, I thought it was.
Oh, I don't.
Paul, the one with the alien?
Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Or-
Edgar Wright?
Did he do it?
No,
he didn't.
it's not
No,
Edgar Wright.
I don't know who did Paul.
I thought
No.
Seth did.
It's on the tip of my
No,
tongue.
it's all right. It's all right.
Tip of my tongue. Tip of my
Is
tongue.
this Spike?
No.
Spike Jones?
That's what the
No.
beauty of editing. You know this. Like you're gonna have the answer, and it's not like you even gave it a thought. Like, eh.
It's
Who's
on
the
my-
guy that does King of the Hill?
my-
Oh, Mike Judge.
Mike Judd.
Mike Judge.
Oh, the Beavis and Butthead
Judge?
guy.
Yeah.
I
He
did
did
not
Office
get
Space.
Well, he
Office
did- he
Space
did the
when I was
Ocracy
when I
and
was a
all-
high schooler, but now I get it. I mean, I got it.
It's a classic.
I got it.
Office
Man, I
Space
started
is
working
a
in
classic.
Office.
Phenomenal.
like Simon Pegg's. I
Simon
like him.
Pegg.
He's-
Oh yeah. Yep.
But yeah, like
Yeah.
all those names have been
Yeah.
inspirations. Who directed Naked Lunch?
God.
That
who
movie's
did
been.
that?
What is Naked Lunch?
Is that Bill Murray? Bill Murray in that?
You mean
No, I'm
you mean
thinking-
Naked Gun?
Naked Lunch.
No, there's a Naked Lunch.
Never heard
What
of
is
it.
Naked
It's
Lunch?
from an old book, but
Is it a comedy? Is it serious? With it?
nah, it's fucking weird.
Is it
man.
action?
It's some other shit.
Was it one of them?
Other
You would
shit.
guess that by the name.
You seen it, Josh? You seen it?
No, I've heard of it though.
It's basically like
He hasn't seen Commando. You know he hasn't seen Naked
I'm
Lunch.
so
Oh, hey, it slipped into the cracks. There's a lot of films I've seen.
it's a good one. Go check it out. Like it's
Commando's so
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous and it's awesome.
You got to be willing to sit through like some really, really weird shit.
Yeah.
I like
Naked
weird
Lunch?
shit. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm game.
Velvet.
Let's do a Field of Geeks
Velvet.
commentary.
What's that movie?
There you go. Yeah, we need to do that.
Blue
Okay.
Velvet. Like that
Blue
movie
Velvet.
was
For Commando.
shit,
I got you.
Like, I like weird shit.
Sure. Do you like all genres pretty much?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love romance movies. Like, I love Actually. I quoted that earlier.
Yeah,
That's
hey.
a funny fucking movie.
Yeah.
I don't care. I hate Hallmark movies. I think they're fucking stupid.
Even the 100 Christmas movies they made, like, what, 2 years ago or something like that?
I
Never
I
thought about
I pride
Hallmark,
myself
I
on
hope
having
you
never
laugh.
seen a Hallmark movie.
but that is movies. Dang it. I didn't.
But I got, like, family that
discounted
love them, and so, you visit, and then you're like, oh, God,
It's such a beautiful
I'm
Christmas.
going to die right now.
Let the light shine all
So-
over the world.
What? When is this film coming out? Is there a release date yet?
No, I don't know. I submitted it the first time, and they were like, "You need to fix this, 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 this."
Oh, yay, notes.
this, and this, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I actually got it back.
When you say submitted it to whom?
Film Hub.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a low budget movie, so I'm
Sure.
not even. I'm not even
Would
gonna-
Film Hub be the distributor?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not even going to try to go for like a bigger distributor. I think for the most part, it's probably a really bad idea for a low budget movie like this. They often tend to nickel and dime you, but it's not nickel and dimes. It's like, oh, well, it cost us $10,000 to put the captions on your videos, so you're never going to ever see a royalty ever. Right? Like,
Wow.
yeah. So, the day that we had the premiere for it, I got that back like 5 minutes before I was going. I was like, ah.
You got notes back 5 minutes before you're showing it?
Well, I'd sent it off before, but
Oh, okay. Yeah.
two separate things.
Right.
Had the premiere.
Yeah.
Right. Like that was the whole thing, and then like doing the work to.
Looked fun, man.
Get
Looked
it
like
on
a
there.
celebration for sure.
Yeah, it was good. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
We had a fun time.
You know, we
especially
had
afterwards.
a really good time.
But
That's the movie itself.
yeah, it probably would.
Not gonna ever be filmed.
There's gonna be a lot of notes on it. A lot of notes.
Juan, what would that movie be rated?
Oh well, I don't think they have it yet. I don't think it exists. I don't think that rating exists.
It's rated don't.
Don't go there.
The movie it's rated canceled.
Yeah.
I got it. That like literally, I was like loading into the car for the film, the premiere, and I got the email. I was like, oh, and then I started reading it. I was like, oh shit. I go, whoa, shit, like all of these things. So I filmed it. I didn't film it in 240 like widescreen, but I shot it to be that way so that I could crop it later.
Yes.
And so I framed everything in a way that it was like widescreen.
Yeah.
When I shot it, and they don't accept that. You have to submit it to them full screen. So I had everything was like framed that way, and it did. So they don't allow letterbox. So, but I had submitted it as 240.
Yeah.
Because it was framed that way, and that was the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't accept that. And that was one problem. And I was like, what the fuck do I do then?
Yeah.
It's like, like if I make it full screen. So the room was not that big. Like it's a suite, but you can still at some point see like lights overhead.
Oh,
'Cause
sure.
It's framed
Yeah.
this way. Like, when you're shooting.
Yep.
This looks good. I'm trying to cut out the fire extinguisher,
Yeah.
or, the fire,
Right.
whatever, or the alarm, or the light,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Barbie house.
Right, yeah, the Barbie
Yes.
house. And so, like, you've got this little area here and then they're like, no, you got to do this. I was like, oh, how do I? So I had to go back.
CGI.
I had to go back through the whole movie and like reframe it, like enlarge it.
That sounds painful. Oh,
And
man.
Then the captions were not correct. I had to do all the atmosphere noises and all the lyrics for the songs and shit like that. Yeah,
Wow.
it was horrible.
Wow.
That was the worst part of making the movie.
Wow. So where is it now then? You still have to wait to hear back?
So I resubmitted it. It finally got accepted, and then because they've got like the algorithm review,
Sure.
like it won't even pass if certain things aren't met, and then a human, I assume, looks at it and goes, okay, well, this also no, and like a few things I didn't catch, like that word's spelled wrong.
Oh no.
Oh shit! There's like 10,000 words in this thing. Like somebody literally sat there and went, "Marshmallow spelled wrong."
Oh no.
So
Yeah. Gotcha.
that's the worst part. I wish I could pay somebody to just do that bullshit.
Well, for people to
Some people can, but I don't have that money.
yeah, of course. Taylor Swift, could you give her a call? She go to a Chiefs game. Maybe you'll bump into her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swifty.
Where can people like stay tuned in to the progress of seeing this film?
We have a Facebook page. It's Facebook/Sweet Killing Machines. That's just where I'm putting all the
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
Win an award or
Yeah, that's great. I've
Whatever.
been keeping
Just
an
throw it over there.
eye on that. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm very happy for you, and I'm happy to see the film. I'm excited. So get it done. No, or whatever you got to do it.
Get it done.
Get it online.
What are you waiting for?
I've never been able to say that in my life to a filmmaker. Bucket
Support
list.
independent art, man.
Get it done.
I'm hoping it'll be online within the next month. That's
Sweet.
my hope.
Awesome.
But I
Time
also
for
might get
Christmas.
an email next week when they're
Ish.
like, "Oh, guess what? You had the word 2 in there twice, and now you have to redo the whole thing."
Just change them to aliens.
So
They're
here-
aliens. That's how they
Yeah.
talk.
Here's the frustrating part is that because it's a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of After Effects and a lot of
Yes.
effects going
I
on and
can
stuff.
only imagine. Yeah.
So it's it's not like a super sci-fi movie. It's not that.
Well, yeah,
hard,
yeah, of
but
course,
it's
yeah,
still a lot
yeah.
for
That's the next project, right?
computer
Super sci-fi.
processor.
Yes.
And so I decided to break it up into chunks when I edited it. I
Smart,
did right, like this section here, and also just in case something got corrupted or fucked up, and I didn't just lose the whole movie because that
Right.
happened.
Oh my God.
Luckily there was backups. the
Yes,
whole way,
thank God,
a lot
right?
of
Yeah.
backups.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like 5 chunks.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
So if I want to, if I have to redo it or whatever, I
Yeah.
have to go back and put them all in this file, and it's just a fucking nightmare.
Oh man. You must have a great computer for all this. What's
I'm
that?
gonna get you behind the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy and me and him talked about doing film before, so I think he would do great. And the same deal, so I think you're inspiring him. I hope.
When it gets stressful though, I'd be like, you got it. Tag. You're it.
It is stressful. Yeah, you got to do it a few times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ever since we went video, I've dabbled in a lot of editing. I mean, I thought audio was hard, but yeah, video, it's like shit. You got to match it. You got to sync it up. And luckily, my software can kind of do that. But yeah. Oh yeah, I've tried to move things, insert things, and everything just gets. I mean, this is a low scale compared to what you've done. I can't imagine. I mean, I get pissed off about that itself.
It was a process.
And I
Yeah.
got a question for both of you guys. Is film just that much harder? Traditional film? Because as far as I'm aware, there's only 2 directors.
Oh, like old school film?
Well, to an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they got digital
It's just
formats.
expensive as hell,
Yeah,
right?
because as far as I'm
Yeah.
aware, there's only 2 directors that still use film, and that's Nolan and Tarantino.
Yes.
They have it converted.
Yeah, but for the most part, they still
Right.
have the film.
I think they're the only ones that can get that deal too. Get the budget to do it because
So our video, I Care Less About the Bitches, was shot in 8mm film, and we
It
bought
was?
Kodak film
Okay.
and shot in 8mm film.
Yeah.
But then it had to be converted over to digital. Yeah, it's
Oh my God.
This shot on this?
I don't know. It's all like stylistic. I think it's mostly.
It's got grit or
Yeah,
something to it.
I don't know.
They call it
Kind of like recording analog versus recording digital.
Tarantino says it's the movie magic. There's a magic with film that you can only get a
Yeah,
certain
but he
film.
said that before Robert Rodriguez showed him how.
Digital can be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, check out Spy Kids. Tarantino's mind was blown.
Tarantino's like, I quit. You've done it, man. You've done it. Boy,
Spy Kids.
hey,
Still baffles me to this day. I'm like, how you do Desperado and Dust Till Dawn, and then you did fucking Spy
Kids.
And I go like this. I go like, YouTube videos, man. Kids will fucking watch anything.
He probably peaked with Sin City.
I'm gonna make a couple $100 million off some bullshit.
Yeah.
I think about that every day. I'm like, man, I'm an asshole. Why don't I just shoot some bullshit and get rich?
Well, going back to like Kids the movie,
watch people play video games all day. I'm like,
imagine a Tarantino Spy Kids.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
You're just gonna see green slime like blow up everywhere because you can't use blood. It's gonna be just slime something.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Blood.
Well, yeah, and it's not. Film was expensive, but especially if you want to do black and white, because you know with digital, you're lucky you can just like click. It's black and white now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more involved than that at times. If you want it to look good, of course.
I never really took it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I was a kid also.
Right.
Like, it kind of transitioned around the time where I was like getting into be a young adult where it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Adobe.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
it was in that gray area there. And I played with film and
Yeah. Yep. Well, yeah,
developed it and
it cuts
shit, and I was like, this
expenses.
shit
Yeah.
sucks.
So I'm saying outside of
This is not a poor man's game.
So outside of cost, would you guys use film?
I wouldn't. No, I don't think there's any reason.
More
option.
hard to get a hold of the equipment for
I think it would just be so
say
much
at this
easier to film
time.
it digitally than to.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, no,
I
no.
like the film look.
I get the richness people feel for it, but yeah, cost wise and
there's so many good cameras out there, and like, a lot of it is lighting and texture. If you're
right. Because there's been some shitty films. I mean,
I'm not the kind of person who can recognize something that's shot necessarily on film versus digitally, but I'm also the same guy that I couldn't tell you the difference between a CD and a fucking vinyl record. Like, it's gonna sound the same to me. I just don't have
the ear
or the sight for it.
Yeah, you're not a hipster.
Yeah,
right?
but the same thing with but even
the monocle.
Like, it's with anything like. I love to smoke cigars, but I know people go, ooh, there's notes of cedar and chestnut in this. And I'm like, it tastes like a fucking cigar.
It's a cigar to me.
Going in my mouth.
Yeah.
So wine tasting
I got a
is
honey
out,
bourbon
right?
one for you when you're done.
What's that?
I got a honey bourbon one for you. Yeah, I got a few.
Nice.
Wind up. We couldn't.
Well, one more thing.
Okay, interview's over, guys.
Well, in closing, what's next after Sweet Killing Machines? Is there anything on the horizon right now, or are you just like, I need a break?
No, I'm writing the next script. It's all planned out. I got all the character development and the arc of the story and all the little conversations.
And it's starring Mr. Washington?
He is in it, and so is he.
Sweet.
Yes.
And are you filming it in Wisconsin?
And Iowa and Minnesota and probably, I don't know. I've got a few actors in LA that are going to be in it.
Cool.
And I'm still trying so it's got to be a SAG movie because I got a couple of bigger names, which kind of sucks. Fuck you, SAG.
Denzel Washington, his son, and his wife.
It's like quadrupling the cost of the movie.
Yeah.
You can't just roll up with your buddies and shoot a film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, we're going to sit here for 16 hours and film this thing. They're like, nope. There's all sorts of fucking rules. And
well, at least the strike's over, right? You can not worry about delays and all that.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
I figured it would be.
Yeah. Right.
by now, but. Yeah.
Well, hey, if you ever need extras, I'm sure Jonah would make the trip too. But especially if you're in Iowa,
Yeah, there's going to be a scene with these guys.
I'm gonna wear my pin in the camera. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
I'll get shot. I'm like, yes.
Right in the pen.
Yes.
The last time I was on screen,
It saved my life.
I got pistol whipped. That was my character.
Yes.
You like that one?
Where can we see that?
That's online somewhere.
It's awesome.
It's a short film.
That's a hell of a plug. Go find it.
Hey, wait. Here's my scene.
I want to see it.
Wait, he's going to pull out his gun, right?
And then I'm
You
like,
think he's a shooter, right? No, he's actually...
Nope.
and then I'm like,
That's me on the ground.
I'm begging for my life, and I don't remember how I was shot, but it's my hands and my wife's she's like, why do you look like you got fucking palsy with your hands? And I was like, I was just hitting the head with a pistol. Maybe I do.
How many takes?
I couldn't tell you.
No. Did you like it though?
That was a hell of fun.
Yeah.
It was a long night. I didn't get home till like, I mean, even like just the one scene took forever, like with makeup and lighting and.
Right.
Would have been considered an action movie or action scene?
I wouldn't necessarily go that far. So, but
I will say stunt acting is fun.
Stunt acting.
Oh.
If you're in shape for it, yeah.
We can get to do some of the next one.
Yeah.
Be a little fight.
I heard myself just sleeping. I mean, that's how.
No, I'm just saying. It's just shape plays a part, but it's not so much that. It's just that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Josh, I'll have to find the videos that my brother put on YouTube of him and I doing some stunt fighting.
Nice.
Short videos.
Nice.
Where we're like flipping each other over like kung fu. I think one of us actually got hurt, but it was good.
Do you ever see that guy who posts his videos? He like sets out like, I don't know if they're action figures, but the last thing I saw was like a microwave, and he stands on a table. He's like, "Fuck this shit," and he rips his shirt off, and he like just goes down on it and just dents the shit out of it, and he's just in agony just for like a good like 20 seconds. That's what he does though. That's what this guy does. So yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Oh, I know. Yeah. It hurt me.
I don't really like stunt acting that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get fucked up. I know this is just gonna go bad.
We've gotten to that age where I'm afraid I'm gonna die just like tripping over my own shoelaces.
Like, wait, I gotta fall backwards and over what?
Right.
Oh no.
Oh, there's limits to my stunts. I'm not Tom Cruise over here.
We're gonna set you on fire.
And
Oh,
shit.
wait till I show you what's coming.
Oh, great.
Oh boy.
When she grabs your dick and just like,
I didn't want to say it out loud because I didn't want to take away.
You got a Disney deal? How'd you do that?
it's gonna be a Disney movie.
It'll be on Disney Plus.
Shout out to Bob Iger.
Walt's private collection of films. Yes.
KK, I see you.
So you're in scripts phase right now.
Yeah.
What ideally, when do you plan on? I mean, I guess you have to obviously finish it first, but what ideally, when do you plan to shoot it?
First week of August is when we're gonna shoot the bulk of it.
Sweet.
Next year.
Yes.
There's a few one-off scenes. A couple of them will probably happen in July. One of the actors is, I think, on a book tour or whatever, and he couldn't do it until like that week after.
Yeah.
So it'll be somewhere in that time frame of July to the middle of August, something like that.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
We've got the cabin
Ooh.
for a stretch of time.
Nice. Oh man, sounds great.
It's gonna be fun.
Excellent. Well, hey, thank you for being on, it's great meeting you, and he lit this whole thing up today, so thank you. I'm gonna have to take pictures so I remember what you did. Yeah.
This is not the best, but you know.
Well, it's what I got, right?
I'm just saying.
You made it happen, so yeah.
Throw it together real quick.
Yeah, I could pick your brain for hours, days. So yeah, but I don't.
Appreciate you having us.
Of course, anytime, and we'll get you a mic next time.
Mr. Washington.
Yeah.
Thank you for loaning us your time.
Anything else, Jonah, before we go?
No, I'm good. This was awesome. So
Jonah, thanks for joining us.
yeah, glad to be a part of it.
This is a lot of fun. So we'll be back. Seek us out on wherever you stream or download podcasts, YouTube, all social media, and of course fieldofgeeks.com. Any other plugs before we go?
Thanks to Jethro for contributing some music. Thanks
Love
to
you, brother.
Aaron Rathbone for being in the movie. Thanks to Matthew Kenner, Doug Montoya.
Even though all Doug did was sit in the back and eat chips.
Fucking sleep.
what I heard.
Bitch. Thanks to Jenny DeLow.
Put a picture of him doing that in credits.
I don't know. There's probably somebody else.
Sure.
Shout out to Ray and Big Steve.
Yeah, Big Steve.
What up, KK?
Well, yeah, I can't wait to see your film, and just keep going.
Yeah.
I'm excited, and I'll be.
Why not?
I'll be one of your stars if you must.
I think you asked earlier.
If you must.
Just make some shit for you.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about what everybody else thinks. I know
Right.
that's like
Right.
people say that, right? But like, really, like,
Right.
who gives a fuck until nobody's coming to your door to give you $100,000 to make a movie. Just make what you want to make that makes you feel good. You know,
it's a classic saying. If it was that easy, everyone would do it. You know.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's also something to direct towards critics, possibly, or haters, for instance. Like, well, do what I do then. If you had something to say.
Yeah, not everybody likes the same thing. So
right, for sure.
That's one thing I dislike about social media is that there's so many people. Everybody's got a fucking opinion.
Yeah.
You know what?
Cough up some cash and we'll make your movie.
Yeah.
First of all, make something. And,
right.
And, even if you did make something, you know what? You like something else, and
right.
These people like something else.
Right.
I don't understand why we have to talk shit about.
Yeah.
Like heavy metal music or rap music or Post Malone or what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like fucking who cares? Like somebody enjoys it, shut the fuck up.
Someone's gonna always like it and someone's not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
right.
like everything, but
yeah.
Whatever. Somebody likes it.
But I respect you for trying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Regardless. For the most part. I mean, unless you certain people we've named off earlier.
Well,
is it Washington?
I believe I can fly.
Yeah.
That's cool. He made Book Eli. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. And virtuosity, right?
Virtuosity. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, Russell Crowe.
Before he was Russell Crowe, yeah.
Well, I think he was still Russell Crowe at the time.
Well, you know what I mean. Before he threw the phone across the room and hit the bellboy and ruined his career for the most part. Yes. Yes, before that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Before he was Maximus.
Thank you again. And of course, Juan.
Thank you.
Jonah, thanks, for all you do for the network. And anytime want to be on. And of course, you're invited too. So I'll have to get a bigger mixer eventually.
Denzel, a.k.a. Rico.
Next time I'll bring somebody famous. I won't, but...
Denzel here. How you going to disrespect Denzel Washington like that? What are you talking about?
Man, we should turn the camera around so they can see that.
Hey, you're the director.
He actually, he's like, nah, I can't because my agents and shit.
Will remain a mystery.
Next time you see us, hopefully you see us
Yes.
reviewing Commando, because this dude's got to see.
I want in on that.
Okay.
I want you
All right.
here.
Do it.
Commando's dope.
You got to see it. It's
Okay.
so good.
I
Because it's so ridiculous.
Oh, it's
I get
so
you.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I haven't boycotted it. It's
I
just
don't think there's one
it's never
cop in
been on the
that movie.
radar. I don't know why.
For the record, I
She's like, "What'd you do with Ellis?"
Okay, well,
I let
then you
him
can
go.
join us.
don't. No.
Dude, it's amazing.
you gotta be here, too.
Great, but
Wait, you haven't
live
seen
right up the
Commando
street.
either?
No.
Oh, man.
it's like
We got to bring Rico, too, because
Okay.
you live around the street.
as a 12-year-old, I was like,
Mr.
come the
Washington.
fuck on.
Well, that'll happen. Field of Geeks at the movies. We'll make
so
that
I don't know if
happen.
anyone here's a comic book person, but it was written by Jeff Loeb.
Oh, shit.
So
I'm looking forward to that.
Commando was, I believe.
Really?
I think so.
I think Die Hard
That's
is actually
why it's so because there's no cops in that
I got
movie.
the
You know,
direct
right?
company,
Other than the ones
by
he beats
way.
up at the mall.
Those aren't those
Oh,
security
those are
guards.
security guards. Oh yeah. Oh,
Like,
but
I'm like, somebody doing all this chaos and no one.
yeah. Wait, hold on.
If I breathe wrong at the
What
mall,
about the cops that arrest him at the gun shop?
Isn't that right, Mr. Washington? If I breathe wrong
What
at
about the
mall-
Christine version of his Porsche, right? Because I know that car in that movie keeps getting damaged,
Yeah,
and then
but he
it's
flipped
fine.
it back over. It'll be fine.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fine. He buffed it out real quick
Yeah.
between shots.
It gets beautiful again.
Yeah, fucks up the side of it, and
favorite
it's
part
all
is
good.
that big box missile launcher going down the street.
Oh yeah. Blow off some steam.
Yes. Well, and I think Die Hard was actually supposed to be a sequel to Commando.
What?
Yeah, pretty sure. I'll look it up, but
Really?
I remember.
That movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Die Hard was a great movie.
Oh, and it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is a good.
It is a Christmas movie, and I'll
My
fight anyone who
movie's a
says it's
Christmas
not.
movie.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's awesome.
You said that.
They kill Santa. No, I don't know.
That was a tree.
Yeah, great.
It was a tree.
Yeah.
A lot of snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Big old things on the street lights.
Duh. I knew this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a fucking Christmas movie with a blowjob. It is perfect.
Ho, 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 ho.
On that note,
It's perfect for your family.
Rated
fire.
G. For gangster.
so we'll be back.
Don't bring your kids.
Don't bring your kids. Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah. I'm Josh.
I'm Juan.
Because nobody stuffed a grenade in anybody's mouth.
And this is Jonah.
Who are you, sir?
I'm Austin Galante.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on Field of Geeks. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Hey, we got a plug. Hey, thank you.
There you
Thank
go. From the director himself.
You enjoy
You want to go
yourself.
to the club with me?
I can't. I got a job to do tomorrow. Got here kind of early.
Come on.
Boys got
We go out, we have 2
prostitutes
drinks.
out here.
2 drinks.
And, you know,
2 drinks, bruv. 2 drinks.
I'll think about it. I'll get back to you on that.
Ladies.
That hurt my hand.
You like ladies.
Of course.
You like.
I don't like paying for him. Like, you know, your boy out there, man. He's kind of
Hey,
has to.
gotta do what you gotta do.